Hi everyone, welcome to the PrefeQ Perspective. My name is Ariana Valencier, daughter of Realty Ryan, and I'm also being accompanied by Closing with Colleen. So, would you guys like to kick it off?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh yeah. What's up, Colleen?
Not much. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So we're very glad to be here today. It's a very special episode. This is our first recording at 1,000 subscribers. Whoop,
Woohoo!
whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yay!
So started off by digging a little deeper in my personal life, bringing my child on. But as always, we're here with some knowledge and fun and enjoying ourselves. So what's going on, Colleen? What's new with you?
What's new? I don't have much new. Life is as it was last time you guys saw me. Yeah, I'm chilling.
Same
How
old
are
same.
you?
Everything is good. Before we get to me, Ari, how's your week going? I'll let you speak to the people real quick.
Oh, my week is going good. I've just been school, work,
Aw,
repeat. I've been having a great time, but I'm happy to be here because this is my first time, in an episode. So, it's different.
Very nice, very nice. So me, it's been another very exciting week. Last week I hit up Myrtle Beach, for the week, a little week vacation. Drove down there, enjoyed that. Just good time, fun in the sun, getting ready for the
how
hot
was Myrtle
summer.
Beach? I've never been there.
So I'd also never been there. Glad you asked.
Okay, yes. Tell me all about it. Tell me
Okay,
everything.
so things I could say about Myrtle Beach. One, it was a beautiful location.
Okay.
We stood right on the beach. I loved the water and the beach. It was clean. The water was pretty clear for North
Yeah, in
America and stuff
comparison to
like
our
that.
beaches in
Right, it
Connecticut too.
wasn't Florida,
Right.
but it was kind of like a little midway point. And like I said, the beach was very clean.
Okay.
There's a lot of activities in a pretty local area, so we kind of parked the car for the most part. And other than like going to the malls for shopping, which they did have like all the outlets right there, so we went there and went shopping and just went crazy. Because everything was so cheap. A lot of things were on sale in the outlets. It was awesome. It was
Nice.
just like going to Clinton out here, probably a little bit better. And yeah, it was a good time. It was bike week, so got to see some motorcycles and a lot of
Oh
noise
my, when
there.
you said bike week, I thought like bicycles. And
No,
in my
these
brain, I was like,
were
oh, were people just riding around
yeah,
in
these the
bicycles?
Harley riders. So I see if
Oh,
Romano could throw some videos in that I took while I was there.
that's dope.
But yeah, it was bike week, so it was just a lot of fun. Me personally, one thing I want to do, give people a shout out. I use a lot of those little timeshare vacations lately to go take really affordable vacations all over
Yeah.
for a very low rate. So the hotel that I was staying in, I don't have a timeshare there. I went to go see a little presentation for a couple hours, and my week stay almost from like Tuesday to Friday was about $79.
That's always nice with the timeshare because you do the presentation, get your little free breakfast. They try to heckle you. You're like, I'm fine. No, thank
They
you. Not
being
gonna buy
funny about the breakfast,
it.
but you know what? They giving out $100 gift cards on top of that.
Really?
So we out here going out to eat on our gift cards, and then at one point we hit up a second one while we were there to get two more
Oh
vacations. So we got
wow,
two
that's
more in the
hilarious.
bank to go on, and then on top of that, we just it's covered up right now, but we're at the flagship Boardwalk Resorts in
Yep.
February. We got a call from them saying they wanted to rent the timeshare and pay me a bunch of money to do so. So I know a lot of people think that timeshares are not the wave, but I think everything when you do it within your own balance
Yep.
financially and stay reasonable is good.
Yep.
You find something in your range. One I have barely costs $150 a month. One of the presentations I went to was almost or over slightly $800 a month.
Yeah.
I had no problem telling them no because I literally could not afford it if I wanted it.
I think you made a good point because you have to be intentional with that timeshare thing. Because I could see how someone who it's their first time going to a resort, they get
Right.
sucked in, they get the free breakfast, and they do all of that. And then they're like, yes, we want to do it. But like, you
Right.
have to be intentional. One time, I think it was 2018, I was with my ex and my family at the time. He
Okay.
won a free sweepstakes from the radio to go
Right.
to Florida.
There you go.
Right, so we ended up going to SeaWorld, did all of this, but the catch was we had to go listen to this timeshare presentation, right? So we get there, and they're like, we're gonna give it to you for this price, and we're like, oh no.
Right.
They heckle it down even more. We're like, no, and they went down even more. They just kept on going and kept on going and kept on going, kept on going. We didn't end up buying it, but it made me see like you don't have to jump on the first thing.
Right.
Like you can literally negotiate and
Right.
negotiate until like you get it to work for you. So I'm pretty sure that's what you did too. Like it wasn't like an impulsive. It was just intentional.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So like I said, we use these vacations just legitimately to get the vacations.
Right.
My girlfriend already had a timeshare when we went there.
Oh, okay.
It was 100% no. So
Right.
as in her mind, but the problem with me was, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an agent. I'm trying to find different ways to explore, the industry and investing in myself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what all these things are. So
Right.
as I'm in the shower and I'm looking out the window in February when I was at the other spot, I'm looking and I see property and I'm on the beach and I'm like, I want a piece of this. So turning around and going downstairs to a presentation, I let my girl throw a fit and act like it was a whole problem, and I bagged back. And yeah, they literally got so low that in the end, the price they gave me, when they try to give me they negotiated so much stuff that when they try to put in the computer, some of it literally wouldn't take because they had already discounted the overall price so low that the computer was like, nah,
what are
like
we
this,
doing?
he's not even at the minimum.
Right.
He killed it.
Yeah.
And so that phone call that ended up renting it almost nets me twice the value of the
Right.
timeshare.
So you were intentional about it. You got
Right.
it to work for you. It wasn't just this like impulsive buy, like we just get it right here, right then and there for XYZ price. Like you haggled them down. That's
Let's
good.
say that flip that took me 2 years, 2 years of sitting on this timeshare and renting it out in that same sort of fashion would have given me probably even more profit than what I made on that flip that was backbreaking physically and mentally.
Really?
Yes, because the flip cost so much that in the end my profits weren't that great. We talked about it
at our
previously in
last
a meeting,
meeting,
right? So you know what the number is.
Yeah.
So if I tell you that 2 years in the timeshare is gonna net me almost 30,000,
That's crazy.
28, then
That's crazy.
What
I
would
think
you do?
That's the thing about real estate that people don't realize all the time. And I think it's our fault as realtors too, because we end up, we're not as transparent as we should be when it comes to on social media. So like sometimes people see like, oh, you just did this flip and you must have made so much money. And it's like, no, that actually killed me.
Right.
Right.
One of the biggest things about it though that I would say to people is that not to be weird or gray area-ish about it, but it's like a good way to liquidate money.
True.
Because if say you have a lot of credit cards and stuff like that, and you wanted to turn that into cash, well, if you do a flip, you could use the credit card to buy the materials and stuff like that, and possibly even pay the workers. And then when you sell that profit, you just turn that credit card money into liquid cash.
Yeah.
There's some other ways you could do it, but you gotta holler at me for those. But I can show you some tricks. I got you.
Wait, what are the tricks?
Nah.
Oh,
Let's just
I
say
don't get to know them.
we'll just say this, and I'm gonna leave it at this because I don't know where I'm at with it. They might come and get me.
Yeah, let's not get canceled.
No, I'm gonna give it to them. If you own your own company and you end up buying something from the company, where you think that money comes from that credit card you use to buy whatever it is off your company, it goes straight to you, right? So yeah, that's that. Now, on to another topic.
All right, what are we talking about?
You recently set out on a task with Romano.
Yeah.
As us being agents, you guys wanted to get to the bottom of things on a $500,000 budget.
Yes.
And what that could do
Big
for
baller.
you in some different locations.
Yeah.
What, Connecticut?
Tampa, Florida, and then there's a community in Atlanta called Lakeside Village or Lakeside Estates. Those are the three.
So I get in a lot of trouble for this. My girl wants to move out of Connecticut. She says it's too expensive here. So what you guys are talking about is awesome.
Yeah.
She's always telling me Midwest Ohio and stuff is really cheap. I don't want to be anywhere cold. So I'm not
Is
really
Ohio
entertaining
cold?
it.
I feel like their climate might not be much different than
No,
ours.
exactly. That's
True.
too
If
much.
you want to move somewhere
I want to go somewhere
warm.
warmer.
Yeah, I hear
Okay.
that.
So, what did you find taking $500,000 in 3 locations? West Hartford, Connecticut. You
West
said
Hartford, yep.
Lakeside,
Lakeside, Atlanta,
Atlanta, and Tampa,
Tampa,
Florida.
Florida. Yep. So I hope I remember it, guys. I did write notes. Can I pull it out, cameraman?
No.
No.
Tell
Okay.
us what you know. Just in general. What would you
All right.
say
So
about these
all of the
properties?
properties were 500,000 price point. I think the one in Tampa was a little bit higher. It was 550.
Ooh, y'all was cheating.
In Connecticut, I find that we have a lot of older homes. So, for example, the one that I found in West Hartford, it's currently under contract, 168 Colonial Drive, I believe it is.
Okay, yep.
It was built in 1957, so it's an older home.
Right.
But they do have updates. They have a new roof. They have solar panels. They have a little in-law apartment. It was cute. It's custom brick on the outside, apparently.
Which is
very
great.
beautiful for Connecticut standard. And I'm not ragging on Connecticut when I say that at all.
It's not so much the standard of Connecticut, but
Yeah.
we're gonna say that even when we run comps on
Yeah.
properties, there's different things you judge it on, just not the similar square footage. Here we're playing with a dollar amount,
Right.
so obviously what the outcome is going to vary based off the location. But traditionally, you're using comparable places.
Right.
In that one place may be brand new, another one may be old.
Exactly. And I think that's the difference with Connecticut because we don't have a ton of new builds here in Connecticut. A lot of our homes are older. So you're not going to find, like, if you compare it to the Atlanta property in Lakeside Village, that looks like it's a little mini mansion, right? And it's
Yes.
part of a community. So they have a pool with a water slide.
Crazy.
They said in the pool, a freaking water slide. And then what else did they have? The tennis courts, and it's not a condo. It's a standalone single family home. You're not sharing walls with anybody
Right.
else, and it's within the same price point.
So you feel like
So
little
much
Tony
better.
Montana in Atlanta.
Literally, like you feel like you're just like living this luxury life for the exact same price as that Connecticut home.
Which is out of date.
Which is
well
out of date.
kept,
Yeah,
but
well,
out of date.
Exactly. Well, I wouldn't even say
slightly.
out of date
It has
because they
newer
do have
things.
newer updates.
Yeah, maybe it's like
It just was built in the 50s.
it was more of a classic home. Yeah, and they
Exactly.
didn't change it. They changed what needed to be changed.
Yeah.
But they kept the classicness to it, and there's nothing wrong with
and
that.
some people like that. Like I like that.
Right.
Like I'm very into like an older aesthetic. Like I like the charm. The Atlanta home was built in 2012, so you do have a more modern feel.
Right.
With that though, you had an HOA. I think their HOA fee was I don't remember, but it wasn't a lot. Like it wasn't like a 500.
Right.
It was
But
very
right. So
very
it had like
simple.
it was more of like a subdivision. So
Yes,
500,000 bought you a
yes.
really nice like subdivision.
Yes, and it's a nice area too because I looked it up and it said like people in that area, it's very well esteemed. The schools are like top tier in the Lakeside
Very
area,
good.
so you're not going into some like frou-frou place. Like you're paying $500,000 and you're like top tier.
Got you. And what would you say about the Florida?
The
property?
Florida one, it was really nice as well. That was built in the 80s, from what I remember. It was Tampa, Florida. It was a bit smaller than the West Hartford property and the Atlanta property, but it was nice for somebody who's looking to just have like that. How do I describe it? Like it felt like a villa, right? So outside you have your nice pool area. It's cozy. It was very similar aesthetically to the West Hartford property, but you're in Florida, so you have that kind of outside indoor vibe at the same time.
And that one was a little bit more modern, maybe not as much as the Atlanta,
Correct.
but it was a little bit more renovated and maybe a little bit bigger.
No, actually, it
about the
was
same
smaller
height.
than the West Hartford one. It was
Oh,
a bit
wow,
smaller,
okay.
but what you're paying for from my perception, and I'm not
Right.
100% sure, is you have the pool. It's Florida. Like,
Right,
it
Florida.
does feel
Yeah,
like-
Florida is almost like when you guys did Atlanta, Connecticut, Florida.
I know
Like
you were thrown off a bit.
I mean, not that it's thrown off, but even on that point, Connecticut it can be a richer, higher area.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
any town, even here in East Hartford, we have some really expensive homes.
Yes.
Right? Atlanta, you kind of are getting a lot for your money there.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? But in Florida, like you said, it's Florida. Everybody wants to be there.
vacationing.
So yeah, and it's another nice area.
Yep.
A lot of beach, water's near. So
Yep.
obviously in Florida, your money is kind of almost like Connecticut. You
Because you're paying
might
for
get,
location.
yeah, you might get a little bit more. Connecticut is because we're just a higher
Yeah.
cost of living here. But in
Especially, yep.
Florida, it's the living and, the cost of living is not bad, but you're getting this nice home, so it's gonna
Yeah.
cost.
And especially with Connecticut, like in West Hartford, especially, like that's one of the more affluent towns
Right,
here. Right. So
exactly.
you're paying for to live in West Hartford to be like,
Right,
I'm a West Hartford person, you know?
right,
I had a thought. Oh, so the reason why I chose those towns is because a lot of people migrate from Atlanta, Florida to Connecticut, or they do the
the
opposite. A
opposite.
lot
Yes,
of people
yes.
from Connecticut also move to Atlanta or to Florida. So I felt like there was a kind of correlation and connection between those three
Right.
states.
And they're definitely, yeah, it's like a kind of
Yeah.
regional thing of like
Yeah.
we're still on the East Coast, but we had like top, middle, bottom type of thing and show you what it is. So, it's not the end of what we do. We like to give different information. So
Yeah.
this is what we're shooting at people today.
Yeah.
We probably take it out west next time and
Okay.
give you guys a little bit more information to what that's like.
Yeah.
So now, Colleen, this is our first time doing our thing.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why I thought this was a good thing today to bring my little one is, well, you're an educator
Yep.
and she's a student, and I have a high value in education. So I
Yep.
just wanted to know, like, what keeps you or has brought you into the field of education in the past?
Yep.
And what do you think is the importance of that for someone like this young lady here in the future?
Okay, that's exciting. All right, so I'm I'm not no, I was a nerd. I was nerdy in school, kinda. Like I thought I wasn't a dork. Like I had friends. But
Right.
I love school. Like
Okay.
I love school supplies to this day. Like I will go to the school supply aisle and just look at like the notebooks and the pencils, and I love pens. Like I just love school. Like I've
Right.
always loved school. So I felt when I graduated high school that it just made sense to me to get into education because I I love school. I like to learn. Being on the side of it as not a student is completely different than being
Right.
like being a student. Kids get on my nerves. They
That's
do get
cool.
on my last
I
nerve.
understand.
Absolutely.
I come from our family has teachers.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, two of my cousins are teachers. One of my aunts is a teacher.
Yeah.
So and my cousin's teach in New York where it's like really bad.
Oh, yeah.
So they get a lot of craziness.
It's tough because I feel like kids are beautiful. Like I love children. I love teenagers. Like I think it's such a beautiful time in your
Right.
life, but they're annoying. Like it's hard because I love them, but at the same time, like I'm constantly annoyed by kids also.
Right.
But I think the beauty in being a student is like I like seeing like the kids grow and I love seeing them express themselves and like they're just like these little people with little personalities and to me it's just so beautiful and I don't have children of my own so I think maybe that's why I feel more I guess sentimental towards students
Right.
because I just love seeing the growth in them, but they get on my last nerve.
So here's my question
Yeah.
I want to turn the mic over with for
Yeah.
both of you, right? As a student and as a teacher, how do you filter through the BS? Because obviously every kid in the classroom is not a pain. You have certain people who maybe things ain't right at home
Yeah.
or they're not getting the attention that they need, so they're acting out, whatever the case may be. How do you deal with that situation versus you see someone who's really there to learn? Because I know this one, when I send her there, she's
She's
there
there to
to
learn.
learn.
Yeah.
So I want to know how you deal with it as a student and how you deal with it as an
All right,
educator.
let me collect my thoughts and I'm gonna let Ari
Definitely.
go first.
There you go, little one. Go on. It's your time to shine.
Okay. So as a student, I feel like people make it really obvious what they're going to school for. Some people feel like they're being forced to go to school, and some people do have like that internal drive that they want to get better, maybe because they're not in the best situation to begin with. And some people are starting off with like very educated parents, and so they just want to continue on that legacy. But like I feel like when you're actually in the classroom, you're a student and it's people who are like either like the same age as you, a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger. Well, I also went to a magnet school where it was mixed with middle school and high school. So it's a lot. Like you're seeing the same people that you've been with for the past like 6 years. And seeing how some people change, it can definitely be like kind of like disturbing because there's a lot of different things that go on between drugs, violence, this,
Yeah.
that, the third. But sometimes I feel like you just gotta stick to yourself. If you know that's not what you want to do, then don't follow that crowd. Like, you know that everybody's gonna do what they want to do. Everybody's human, so you can't expect everybody to have the same mindset that you hold. Yeah, you might really cherish your education, but if someone else doesn't feel like that, just stay out of it. But I feel like the problem with a lot of teachers is that they may judge and they may get upset and frustrated because that's their job, and it's just like a obstacle in the way of them like doing their job. But at the same time, that's your students, that's your kids. Like, you see them probably more than their parents may see them sometimes, so you gotta have some love for them. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You don't have to be all up in their business, like, oh, like, what happened, like, who do you live with, like, but just ask questions like, are you okay? Like, if you see a kid acting out, probably having like a tantrum, throwing stuff, like having like like emotional like instability, ask questions. Like, they probably want to be seen, they want to be understood.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what a lot of teachers don't realize, or maybe they aren't trained on. But like, as a student, because I've even also been the one to be like a problem solver. Like, I've always been like, hey, like, are you okay? I'm always like the person to check on somebody if I see something wrong. And also, like, even people check up on me, and I feel like that's what kind of made me realize, like, most of the time, like, when someone is acting in like a unfamiliar way, it's because it's deeper than just them being mad and wanting to cause problems. Like, there's something deeper than that.
It's
So
true.
yeah.
That is so true. I'm happy you went first because it definitely like hearing your perspective, and then it helped me think about like what it's like for me in the classroom. Um, I think you're right. Like, kids do go through a
Yeah.
lot, and everybody's home life is completely different, and everybody's emotional makeup is different. So like
Right.
one student can look at or handle a bully completely different than another student would. Like, one
Right.
student, they would completely break down, whereas the other student will have the confidence to say, don't talk to me like that. And they will
Exactly.
handle it, right?
Right.
And I think from an educator's point of view, it's always interesting for me to see like the different personalities in kids.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't really care. Not that I don't care. The academic piece is not high priority to me as much as it is as making sure that the kids become good people.
Right.
Right? Like, because at the end of the day, like, I've already been through school. I went to college.
Right.
Like, nobody has ever asked me about slope intercept. Nobody has ever asked me about y equals mx plus b. They don't
Right.
care. Like, in the real life,
Like,
we don't care about the slope. We
right.
don't. Do you care about slope, Ryan?
Man, don't do that to me.
Right.
You don't. I'm just
You
saying.
don't even
We
remember
don't
the
care.
equation.
We don't care about y equals mx plus b. The Pythagorean
Right.
theorem irrelevant in real life, right? So I want my kids to be good people, but I understand how academics helps foster those skills. Like, it helps
Yeah.
you to become hard workers, have a good work ethic. Just be, I don't know, just be a functional adult.
Right.
For me, it gets hard because I see certain kids and I'm like, you're literally doing this just because. Like, you don't got
Exactly.
nothing going on. Like, I know you have nothing
Right.
going on.
Boredom.
You want attention from all the other classmates. You think you're going to be this funny class clown, and you're not. You're not funny. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. And you can see that as an adult. You can see, like, okay, this student is just trying to be cool, or this student is actually very upset. You can discern which. The kids who do things to be like cool or getting
Right.
attention, can't take it.
But I
Can't
feel
take it.
like that feeling where you may need attention, I feel like honestly, they may not have anything serious going on at home, but I feel like it
It's
is like just
insecurity.
like attention. Like,
Yeah.
maybe like their parents are always busy. They love that
I don't
attention.
know. I don't know if it's even that. I feel like some kids, they have a steady home life. Their parents are there. Some kids are not, but I feel like certain students have an insecurity where they don't feel
Yeah.
like they belong.
Yeah.
So they feel like they have to overcompensate and do more.
Yeah.
And I get that because when you're a teenager or you're in middle school, you're in a very awkward phase of your life. You're still trying to figure yourself out.
Yeah.
And you're naturally comparing yourself to your other classmates. And you might feel like, oh, well, this person does this. And then people always laugh. So I'm going to do it too. But guess what? People aren't going to laugh when you do it because it's not you. It's not authentic. So you got to give it a rest. Like, just be yourself. But when you're a child, when you're 10 or even 14, 15, you can't pick up on that. You're not going to see it that way. But as from an adult lens, sometimes I'm just like, can you just stop?
Right.
Like, I'm just like you're
hurting all of us.
Like, this is very annoying. Just cut it out. Cut it out. It's not you. Just be who you are and you'll be okay.
Right. Trust me, it's not just a teacher.
Right.
It's like, we see it too. We're like, what is he
And then
doing?
also, like, teachers, we're human too, right? So sometimes kids will say things like they'll be roasting each other, and I have to like sometimes I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny, and I kind of have to like dial it back, like, oh, I have to be the adult here,
right? Like, that wasn't nice, but,
right? Like, cut it out, but also that was good.
That
was good.
real quick, right?
Literally, one time, the second grader, he's in second grade now, but last year he was first grade, and he said to this girl, he was like. It's kind of mean, but I thought it was great because she deserved it. He was like, she said, that's why your dad didn't come back. He told you that he was getting the milk and he never came back. Something like that. And he was in first grade. He was 6 and he was saying it to a 5th grader. And I was like, whoa. But that was really creative. How did you come up with that at 6 years old? Yeah. How do you know about that at 6?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I mean, even my little brother, he's in... Wait, what grade is it? I think he's in 5th grade. Yeah, he's in 5th grade. And, like, some of the things he says to me, like, I hear it and I'm like, all right, then, like, forget you. But then I'm like, wait. How do you know that? Like, where'd you get that
more
from?
Advanced. So you think that, like, 10 years old, they don't know anything. They know a lot. And it's kind of scary.
Like, if I piss him off and I, like, say, like, I'm hungry, I'm about to go downstairs. He's like, okay, big back.
Yes!
What the hell?
Big back. Okay.
Yes.
I'm over big back. I'm so over big back. I hear it every day. Like, I just want to eat my food.
Exactly.
Like, please stop calling people big back. It's constant. That's the only thing that you can say. Okay, with your big back, stop. Like, leave me alone.
Listen. But, I mean, I have to hit him with it sometimes, too. So, it goes both ways, Like, I can't expect, to not hear big back, but then I'm always calling someone big back.
It's so annoying. And they do it, like, especially elementary age kids. Elementary does it for, like, no reason. Like, you can literally just be eating your cereal, and now you're a big back. It's like, I haven't eaten all day. Can I not be a big back, please?
No, you're still a big back.
Nobody's safe.
Don't be a big back.
Don't be a big back.
Don't be a big back.
I'm trying to unbig my back. I got my Apple Watch, guys. I closed all my rings.
Unbig their backs.
Unbigging my back.
Do you need that? Can I take your order?
What?
May we help you? Sorry.
I'm not understanding. Where are we going with that?
No, he's
Some slang I'm learning from the young kids.
May I take your order?
Do you need that?
It's do you need that? Like
I haven't heard
do
that.
Do you need that? May I take your order? Would you like a Sprite with that?
It's aggressive. Like if someone pisses you off, it's like, do you need that?
Like but what is it? Like those hands?
Like do you need like these hands?
I have not heard that one. No.
You never heard like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need that.
No.
Like, oh wait, but you're not. Oh sorry.
I'm in elementary.
All right. See, Baddie's professional here. So basically, like when they say like, do you need that? It's
wait, is Baddie's that stupid show?
Yeah. But I'm saying like that's where they get it from.
It's so stupid.
No,
I've never watched it, but I just feel like
I'm just saying like that's where they get the mentality from though. I feel like the like bad like thing, like I feel like that's all just because they see the older women doing it.
It's such a bad example. My kindergarten students watch that, and I like because their parents watch it.
Oh,
and it makes me upset because it's like, first of all, those women are not examples. I'm sorry, like they're just not. Like no grown person should be fighting. Like you should not be 35, 40 plus. Fighting, like what are you
because someone looked at you funny. Like I feel like some of the things that happens, it's just so unrealistic.
I couldn't even imagine. Could you imagine me fighting somebody? I could not. What?
I would hope not.
Because it's not normal. It's not normal behavior. It's not okay. There's nothing cool about it. They don't even look cute. I'm sorry. None of them. I think it's stupid.
I'm glad we got here.
Sorry.
I'm glad we got here, and the reason being is it all goes together. Mm-hmm. It intertwines with everything we were just discussing because even the thing about the behavior.
Yeah.
Right? The behavior we were just speaking about, where do you think it comes from?
It's from what they see on
Okay,
TV, what their parents
and
are
what's done in the
consuming.
right.
Yeah.
So the main purpose for me of this episode is, like, I always talk about so much about generational wealth and these things like that, right? But there are so many bigger problems in the infrastructure of, like, inner cities and
Yes.
minorities and things like that. And what we go on TV and think is appropriate is very sad. Now,
It's disgusting.
I'm very fortunate as a parent and my daughter's mom and my mom putting a lot into my daughter. So the wealth is not just a financial wealth, but real generational wealth is, like I said, investing in yourself, you investing in your kids as well. So I put very lot of time in my daughter since she was born. I test the limits
That's
of
beautiful. You have a
her
good dad.
capacity to make sure that I'm pulling as much out.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, in comparison to me, who a lot of people consider to be an educated person, on a school level, my daughter far surpasses
See? I
even
told
probably
you
my
she
best
always talks
efforts.
about
You know
you.
what I'm saying? So I think it's important that we say that, because if I didn't invest in her in that way from young,
Yep.
if I didn't set certain standards in how you carry yourself
Yep.
and what the expectation is, I wouldn't feel comfortable to let her watch those things. Even though I don't like it as well, I hate
Because
it.
you know that she's not going
Right.
to. It's not gonna be.
Right.
She's not
I
gonna be
know she
influenced
knows
by it.
better,
Yeah.
but the sad part about the world we live in, when you're a parent and you don't take the time out to raise your kids, you let TV,
Yep.
music, and all types of other
iPads
outside
raise the kids.
forces raise them. And so a lot of them see these things and believe that to be real.
Yep.
And that is the biggest problem in our community. And shout out, I wanted to mention earlier about Florida with my cousin. She owns some property there.
Okay, nice.
They do sell for that. But shout out to her brother, my cousin, Free BB. You know what I'm saying?
He's in jail?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I'm not saying this to, like, poop on my family or nothing
Yeah.
like that. But he was someone who, when we were young, he got caught up in these perceptions and thinking like gangster. And he's not even like gangster. He's not bad. He's not out like robbing people. But he thought like in the streets or whatever. And I respect a lot of things he was doing, his
Yeah.
entrepreneurial shit later on. But it was the things in life that he saw that maybe
Influenced him to
messed
be-
up his perception of how to go about things, you know, as not having that time invested. Or he did, but maybe he didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Not everyone's the same. But ended up leading him into, like, right now, he's going through something.
That's interesting. I never knew that about you, but we have a little bit of a commonality because so my parents, especially my mom, like she invested a whole lot into us, a whole lot, right? My mom has always been very big on education, always big on that. And she was always really strict. Like we couldn't even watch Rugrats, which is crazy because, because Angelica stole cookies, and she didn't want me to be no thief. So we couldn't watch Rugrats.
She was paying attention.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Miss Aretha Grimes. We love
But
you here.
I started watching Rugrats now as an adult because I feel like I was robbed. But anyway, so her brothers, she has a lot of brothers. My family moved here from Guyana, right?
Right.
All of her brothers came here. They were teenagers into their early 20s. All of her brothers except for one. They got into like drugs, right? So all my uncles, most of them, except for one, are all deported, right? In Guyana. They had to all go back because they was doing a lot of nonsense.
Right.
When this was happening, I was still a kid, right? I had no clue. No clue. I only know that like they were involved in like drugs and violence and stuff like that because one of my uncles, he used to write me letters all the time and make me those the little cloth things with like the Tweety Bird pictures that they used to draw in prison.
Right.
But like I didn't know about it until I got older because of how sheltered. I don't even know if sheltered is the right word, but it is a little bit of a shelter.
They were shielding you from it, maybe.
But I think that's powerful because in the midst of all of the stuff that was going on, mind you, a lot of them lived in my household because we have a two-family.
Right.
They were in the house. I got no clue. I'm playing tags. I'm with my cousin digging holes to China. No freaking clue. And yet my mom was so intentional about how she raised us that I could say I didn't have any clue, right? So there was always stuff going on, but the way that she raised me and my siblings, we were able to still have a decent life despite all those things. We were able to be invested in. She always like was big on education. Like we weren't watching TV a lot. She would get like little workbooks from like the dollar store or the bookstore. We had to read our books, do our math in the summer, like very focused on all of that stuff despite everything that's going on. So I feel like, and I'm not a parent, so I try not to talk so much about how to raise kids.
Right.
But I do have a strong like, I feel like I am naturally maternal. I love children. I hope I have kids one day. But even if your kids are in an environment that might not be the best, right?
Right.
You can still choose how you raise them.
Right.
You can still choose. You couldn't tell me that my uncles were drug lords and somebody got shut up. I had no freaking
Right.
clue.
But your mom was paying
clue.
really good attention because she knew Angelica stole cookies.
And she said, not my child.
Shit, I watch Rugrats and I didn't even know that. But
Yeah.
that's the type of thing. And even with mine, I always try to pay attention
Yeah.
and know what she's doing. So once again, all these things play a part, how you raise your
Absolutely.
kid, you know, what presence they have in the world. So, you know.
And you're not a victim. We're not a victim
Right.
to our circumstance. I
No.
hate what, like,
Of course you can.
Yes,
Why don't
take
you
the
speak
mic.
on it, girl?
Yes.
Okay. So I feel like, yeah, it's obvious that you should raise your children, but I feel like what really made me feel comfortable with my parents, like, and not hate them is because, like, yeah, like, you watch me and you care about me, but you were never super strict to the point where I felt trapped in the house. Like, you let me go out, obviously. You let me, you know, like, go see my friends or whatever, you know, but you obviously make sure that I come home at, like, a decent time. But you were never so on me. Like, you were never, like, a helicopter parent. And I feel like that's what really makes me, like, be so, like, I tell you anything, like if I feel like I even did something wrong, like, I'll tell you. And it's
That's
even it's
beautiful.
not just you, it's like with mommy too. Like, I remember I had this conversation with her and I felt bad for lying to her because I think I told her, like, I was throwing away her containers that I didn't feel like washing. Like, it was like like, you know, those like Chinese
like the Tupperware containers.
yeah, like from like the
'Cause you can't get
Chinese
the stains
restaurants.
out, yeah.
I was like, there's no point in me washing this. Like, there's like, I hate washing them. Like, they suck. So
you
I was
just
like,
throw 'em
I was
out?
like, mommy, I'm sorry, but I've been throwing out all of your
Aw.
things. Like, I feel so bad.
But you're such a good egg. Like that's your big thing that you're
Right.
lying about. You're
But, like,
such a
I
good
feel
kid.
like-
Oh my
I
goodness.
feel like the like how ridiculous the things I feel guilty about are. It makes her even more like worried. She's like, wait, like no, like this can't be right. Like I feel like it's
Because
she
they're
feels
so
like it's
small.
too good to be true.
Yeah.
But it's like I've been scared. Like I feel like you like I don't want to be a disappointment, and I feel like it's because of like the way that my parents raised me. Like I feel like I learned right from wrong at a very young age, and I feel like when you learn right from wrong at a very young age, it shapes your mind and it makes you less inclined to do
Yep.
like you know like more inappropriate things in the future.
Ryan,
Like
you gotta be so proud.
Very.
like
You have to be. That's such a blessing.
like I never really found interest in doing anything like that I shouldn't be doing, mainly because like I'm cool where I'm at. Like, you know, like obviously like I have my job. Obviously, yeah, like I do watch baddies. Like I'm not perfect. I'm
Where
not
you
saying
work?
that I'm perfect. Huh?
Where you work?
I don't want to say where I work.
Listen, you better be proud. You better be proud to be a Dunkin' Donuts girl. That was my first job too. Okay,
Okay,
be proud.
I work at
coffee. Give
I-
us a sponsorship.
Okay, I work at Dunkin' Donuts.
Honestly, we should probably work that out though. A sponsorship.
Yeah,
'Cause we both-
mocha's large. Dunkin'.
Ha-
Anyways,
I asked her to wear her shirt.
no, but anyways, I feel like the saying that what is it? Strict parents make sneaky kids. Like I feel like that's true because
That's
the more
true.
that you're on them, the more that they're gonna feel restricted, and the more that they're gonna want to break out, lash out, be. Wait, can
That's true.
Can I say something like kind of vulgar?
Go
Does
ahead.
it like they don't have to be like hot in the ass like or anything like that. Like if you're just like you have to create an understanding. Why are you?
Hot and I've never heard that.
here.
I've never heard that expression in my life. Hot in the ass.
Yeah, like someone who's
Sorry,
like
Mom.
fast.
Black American.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, I've never heard that.
Oh really?
West Indian over here. We don't say that.
Oh yeah. Or
We say
like
it too fast.
You
or like
enough.
It's
yeah,
too
I was just gonna say
fast.
that like it's too enough. Like
Yeah.
like it was nothing like that. Like I feel like because I had a way to communicate with my parents thoroughly. Like I never felt like breaking out or doing anything
That's good.
crazy. But also like seeing like my parents like be more like human with me. Like it helped me understand like not like this is my first time living, but it's everybody's first time living
Yes.
as well. Like he's never done this before, so obviously like yeah, we're gonna all make mistakes, but like I feel like he definitely tries to create like be a role model for me so I can see like what to do. Like I'm like I'm very happy to have the dad that I have as well as the mom that I have because it sets a path for you. Like, you know, you just know like what to avoid and what things you should be more like what's the word? Like what things you should have a desire for. Like I feel like now I want better. I want to get a good job. I want to have a nice house. You know, I want to be with the right person that suits me. And yeah, I just feel like you should, but you shouldn't be like strict on your kids. Like I feel like that's so stupid. Like when parents be like, "Oh, let me see your phone every night. Phone on my dresser every night. You can't go out with da da da. Oh da da da." Like just talk to their parents real quick and just let them hang out.
I agree with you on that because my my mom was strict, but I also like, yeah, she was very strict. She was very strict, and I don't think that, like, I understand why, because like you said, your parents is their first time doing it, right?
Yeah.
And she had a lot of different things in her life that she saw, a lot of influences, or not even influences, but just people within her in her family that just went a completely different path. So I completely understand why she's like, no, my kids are going to be XYZ. You kind of get afraid, you know?
Yeah, because I feel like it also is like West Indian parent
Oh
syndrome.
my goodness, West Indian parents
like,
are nuts.
Like that's how my
They're
mom
nuts.
is. Like my mom, but like she wants to be strict, but it's like she knows that like I'm not gonna do anything wrong, so she's like, okay,
She
go
trusts
ahead.
you. She
Yeah, like
trusts
I
you.
feel like it's all about building trust. But I
And
feel
you
like
lean on me.
well, I mean, I do. Okay, yeah.
It's an interesting balance. So
I
you have
do.
one West Indian
Right.
parent and one
That's
non-West
like,
Indian. It's
like
yeah.
he's more nonchalant, but my mom, she's like, but like she tries so hard to be like, no, you can't do any of this. But I know autism is a little convincing, but but I don't get away with everything. You
Yeah.
know, like if I ask her to go out 3 days in a row during the summer, she's gonna be like,
Yeah, because you can't have too much fun.
Right.
Like if you're going out on Monday, you bet you're gonna be home Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
right.
Friday because you can't have too
Maybe
much
Friday
fun.
if that room is clean,
Right.
But
Like,
Yeah,
why are you
I
trying to
was
go out 2
pushing
days in a
it.
row? It's funny though, because as an adult, I find like the things that I hated about my parents, I do them in my own personal life.
Right.
So I'm a homebody. I don't like to be out of my house. My friends are always like, Clean, we never see you. Like, you never text back. You're always canceling. My parents always, like, if we would get invited to places, we were not going because my parents are very much introverts. As I get older, I don't want to be out. I don't. And I have like hardly any friends for that reason. I used to be very like social and always feel like I have to go everywhere when I was in my early 20s and even mid 20s. But now I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
And I like to be in my own bubble. So the things that I resented about my parents now, I've adapted that. Like, I'm not going out if it's raining. If it's too cold, I'm not going anywhere. Like, you
New England.
cannot catch me outside of my house. I'm only here in the office, and maybe I'll be doing a showing or two, and I'm at my house. That's it. I don't go anywhere.
That bed.
I'm in my robe and in my bed, 95 bonnet on and everything, 95% of the time watching my crime shows just like my mom used to.
Law and Order?
I love Law and Order. I like Criminal Minds, but I like documentaries too. So like anything about people getting murdered and all of that on Netflix, that's my vibe.
Okay.
I love all that
See, I
stuff.
get. Oh, Bailey Sarian. Love
Who's
her.
that?
Oh, girl, let me put you on.
The
Who is Bailey? Is she on YouTube?
She's this YouTube, like she's a YouTuber and she does her makeup while talking about like true
Is she the
crime.
blonde girl? No, she.
Well,
Let her tell you
she
what
used
she
to be
does.
blonde.
I feel like I've seen some of her
Let her tell you
shows.
what she
Yeah.
does. Tell her what she does.
Yeah, so she does her makeup, and then as she's doing her makeup, she tells like these like in-depth stories. Like
Yeah.
she shows pictures. She tells you the
That's
whole
my vibe.
story
Of crime.
of crime. Like
That's my vibe.
Serial killer.
That's my
but
vibe.
It's
Yeah.
not just serial killers though. She also talks about like
You were
just like
watching a lot of serial killers.
like dark
When do you
history.
like to watch her?
Huh?
When do you like to watch her?
It's murder mystery makeup Mondays.
No. Well, what she's not telling y'all, she go to bed.
That's what
watch-
I do.
yeah.
Literally, I do that too.
It's
Like
not as
that's how I go to sleep. It makes me calm.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
know why. I go to
but
bed
it's
watching that stuff too.
storytelling.
Yes, and
So,
it's
like,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, hour, mama.
Has it been that long? We have to wrap it
I
up.
love it. No,
No,
I
I
Alright.
keep
1,000
talking.
subscriber episode.
Woohoo! Yes, 1,000.
Wait, but
that happened
but not
fast.
too
How
late.
long ago? What did you start the podcast?
About what, 2 months, Romano?
That's crazy.
It's been
2
2
months
months?
in and 1,000 so quickly. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's due to excellent marketing
Yes.
by our colleague.
Yes.
Proper planning. If you out
Scheduling.
there want to big up your following and your business and increase your marketing, reach out to us here at PrefeQ and ask for Romano the Realtor. He is the
Woohoo!
marketing specialist.
Romano,
and
would you help
for
me
a
get more
fee,
followers than you?
he could show you how to
For
go
free?
up. Yeah. But nah.
No answer. Crickets. Did you guys hear that? Crickets.
I appreciate everything that we've talked about
Yeah, me too.
today.
This was
I'm
good.
sure the people appreciate it. Ari, I appreciate everything you said. It gives me great honor to be your dad. That's why I take it very serious if anyone play with you, because you're everything to me.
Aw.
You know what I'm saying? And Daddy's a crash out. I can't wait to crash. You know what I'm saying? To crash, room. I like
He
to
is.
go
Ryan is a
fast,
crash
and I
out.
don't care if I
Like,
crash.
people think he's
so
so
know that.
sweet.
No, he's
He's
cool.
on the psychotic end.
He's
Like,
they don't hear what I hear. He's crazy.
nuts. And that's
Y'all ain't hear that, right? Because she ain't got the mic. I'm normal as normal could be. But yeah, we just want to shout you guys out. Like I said, investing in yourself, investing in your family. We all minorities. We want to thrive and do well, and we can't do that if we don't get our acts together and act like we know what the hell we doing. Stop watching these damn reality shows because y'all wild.
yeah, Baddies is disgusting. There's no benefit to that show. I've never watched it,
At all.
but I just know there's no benefit.
I'm gonna let the young ones sign out, but also stay tuned as our upcoming agent. Hopefully she'll be with the PrefeQ Realty team in another year or so.
Yay.
I'm trying to teach her the ropes because that's what we do here. So, thank you again for being who you are and doing what you do.
Thank you. Yeah, I was so happy to this episode. It was so fun. I didn't think it would be this fun. I thought it would be really boring, like just adults talking about like taxes and bills. But it was pretty fun. You guys might see me again. Definitely by next year, because I'm gonna be in this office with them. They acting like they don't want me in here, but I'm gonna be here.
I want you here.
Yeah,
because your dad and Romano always getting up on me, so I need an
See?
ally.
I gotta be the barrier.
Please.
I gotta be the bridge actually to
Please.
even everything out.
Yes, you do. We'll have to tailor our meetings though, because she's young. we gotta keep it PG.
Yeah. 1 more year until I can party with you guys, but 4 more years until I could really party with you guys.
Oh yeah, we gonna get you lit, girl.
Was that a threat?
Sign us out.
All right, guys. You already know what this show is. It's the PrefeQ Perspective, and you guys will definitely see us with another video coming soon.
Yay! That was so good.
Thank you.
All right,
You're so cute. Oh my god, I want a kid.